Today, we're going to dive right into something absolutely fascinating, the literal mechanics of extreme wealth creation. We'll be basing this journey on some incredibly candid, eye-opening insights from entrepreneur and investor Alex Hormozi. Because, if you've ever wondered what actually separates the millionaires from the billionaires, well, it's not just a matter of adding a few extra zeros to your paycheck. It is an entirely different language of money, math, and leverage. And today, we're going to break down exactly how that language works, step by step. Here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the billion-dollar misunderstanding. Then we'll look at the power of asset multiples, followed by reverse engineering a billion, and finally, we'll wrap up with thinking like smart money. All right, section 1, the billion-dollar misunderstanding. It's time to shift your mindset on wealth. So Hormozi points out this crucial realization that completely changed his own trajectory. When we're young, the logic seems pretty simple, right? To be a billionaire, you just need to earn $1 billion a year. That's step 1, the total myth. Then, as we get a bit older and unfortunately discover taxes, we move to step 2, what I call the grind. We start thinking, okay, I need to earn $2 billion over my lifetime, pay $1 billion in taxes, and just hoard the rest. But actually, both of those are fundamentally wrong. The reality is entirely different. You do not become a billionaire by earning $1 billion salary or by grinding it out and saving your pennies. You become a billionaire by owning something that is worth $1 billion. And this illustrates the ultimate paradigm shift. On one side, you have getting paid for what you do. That's your salary, your hourly rate, your highly taxed active income. On the other side, you've got getting returns on what you own. The ultra-wealthy are relentlessly focused on this second concept. They focus on owning appreciating assets, because while your income gets taxed heavily right off the bat, the underlying value of an asset you own can literally grow by millions of dollars, completely untaxed until you finally sell it. It's a total shift in how you view your time and your energy. Moving right along to section 2, the power of asset multiples. Let's look at why the bottom line really matters. To truly grasp this, we need to quickly talk about EBITDA. It's a fancy finance acronym, I know, but for our purposes today, just think of it as a company's pure profit. The real magic happens because businesses aren't valued just by how much cash they have sitting in a checking account. They are valued at a multiple of their EBITDA. Depending on the industry, a business might be worth 5 times, 10 times, or even 15 times its annual profit. This multiple, that is the secret engine of billionaire wealth. Let me show you exactly how this plays out in the real world. So, let's say you own a business that makes $5 million in profit. After taxes, maybe you take home around $3 million. Not bad. Now imagine next year, you hustle, you optimize operations, and you bump that profit up from $5 million to $6 million. Awesome job, right? But if you look at your post-tax take-home pay, it only went up from $3 million to about $3.5 million. An extra $500,000 in your pocket is fantastic for sure, but it's not exactly billionaire math. Now, look at the valuation side of the table. If your business is valued at a 10x multiple, your base year valuation was $50 million. With that one extra million in profit, your valuation for the next year just jumped to $60 million. Boom! That $10 million difference is the crucial point here. Because of that 10x multiple, the asset you 100% own just increased in value by $10 million. Think about that. You only put an extra $500,000 in your pocket after taxes, but your net worth just exploded by $10 million in untaxed wealth. You didn't make it, you owned it, and it appreciated. This is the exact math the ultra-wealthy are using every single day. And honestly, this is exactly why extreme wealth requires a laser focus on your main appreciating asset. Hormozi puts it so perfectly. Mark Zuckerberg wasn't out there flipping Airbnbs on the side while he was trying to build Facebook. If you have a business generating a few million in profit, spending half your time trying to set up some passive income side hustle is a massive distraction. If you instead pour all that focus into growing your main asset's profit by just a little bit, that multiple kicks in and you add tens of millions to your net worth. Okay, section 3, reverse engineering a billion. Let's do the math backwards. Let's map this out. Step 1, your target is to own an asset worth $1 billion. If we look at average S&P multiples, massive companies often trade at about 15 times their earnings. So step 2, to get that billion-dollar valuation, you need roughly $70 million in yearly profit, or EBITDA. Step 3, divide that by 52 weeks in a year, and you need to hit about $1.5 million a week in pure profit. Step 4, assuming you run a highly efficient business with a 30% profit margin, generating $1.5 million in profit a week means you need about $300 million in top-line annual revenue. And just like that, $1 billion isn't some abstract, impossible fantasy anymore. It's just a math equation. Sure, 300 million sounds huge, but think about how crazy your current revenue would have sounded to you 5 years ago. You just keep leveling up. Now, to actually hit a massive $300 million top line, you have to choose the right vehicle. You literally cannot pursue opportunities that cap out at $10 million. Your business model has to meet 4 very specific criteria. First, it cannot rely on your personal physical time. You have to detach your hours from your output. Second, it has to serve a massive, practically global marketplace. Third, the unit economics have to yield very high gross margins. And finally, you have to be willing to play the game on a very, very long time horizon. If an opportunity doesn't tick these 4 boxes, it simply won't get you to the $1 billion mark. Which brings us to section 4, thinking like smart money, the absolute magic of leverage. Let's bring back that $50 million business we talked about earlier, the one making $5 million in profit. Imagine someone buys it and focuses on growing that profit by a steady 20% year over year. The compounding effect here is beautiful. By year 3, profit is up to $7.2 million. By year 5, it's more than doubled to $12.5 million in annual profit. Plus, they've collected around $40 million in earnings along the way. That alone is a great business story. But here's where the smart money does things completely differently. When institutional investors bought that business for $50 million, they absolutely did not write a check for $50 million. No way. Instead, they utilized a leveraged buyout. They put down a fraction of the cost, let's say $15 million in cash, and they went to the bank and took out a loan for the remaining $35 million. They're basically using debt to acquire a cash-flowing asset. Now, let's bring this whole shebang together and look at the stunning reality of this math in year 5. The business now makes $12.5 million in profit. Apply our 10x multiple, and the new valuation is $125 million. Now remember that $40 million in earnings they collected over those 5 years? Well, they used that cash flow to pay down the bank loan. So now there's only about $10 million in debt left. The investors own an asset worth $125 million, minus the $10 million in debt, leaving them with roughly $115 million in equity, plus the $5 million left over from cash flow. Guys, that is $120 million in net wealth created, all from an initial cash investment of just $15 million. That is the astonishing power of leverage and multiples working together. And ultimately, this brings us right back to our central thesis. You don't make it, you own it. True, generational wealth is not generated by how big your salary is or how much you can physically grind out in a 40-hour week. It is created by acquiring, owning, and scaling assets. It's a game of multiples, leverage, and recognizing the massive structural difference between highly taxed active income and untaxed asset appreciation. So as you look at your own trajectory today, I want you to ask yourself, are your financial goals being capped by how you're measuring them? If you're measuring success in tiny 6-figure salary units, you might be artificially capping your own potential. Don't aim for 100% effort to equal a $100,000 paycheck. Aim for building an asset worth $10 million. You now know the exact math the billionaires use. The only question left is, what asset are you going to start building tomorrow?